Hello, students in Uganda, St. Catherine's Secondary School. I'm so happy to be making these videos to teach you how to play guitar, and I pray that you'll be able to play at school for your classmates and bring live music to your masses. So, this first video we're going to talk about tuning the guitar and holding the guitar. You have a sheet called Tuning the Guitar that I sent to your, and it looks something like this. So if you have that sheet with you and follow along, I'm going to read the steps here. And the first step really applies to when you have either put new strings on or you've just gotten your guitars like you have now, and they may or may not be in accurate tuning. So if you have new strings, you listen to the correct pitches for each string on the tuning video, this video, and adjust your tuners to get each string close to the pitch you hear on the video. So in the little screen you'll see I have a tuner here. That's really step 2, clip the tuner on, but I'm going to turn it on anyway just by pushing that little button, and you'll see the string. So I'm going to start with the highest sounding string, the one down at the bottom of your guitar here, and that's called E. Let's see, and it looks like it's in tune on the tuner there. So on your E string, adjust your tuner. You don't have to move it too vigorously. Just little movements are pretty good, but try and get it fairly close to that pitch before we try tuning things in. Because if you get it way too tight, way too high, it's possible to break the strings. Okay, if you get too much tension on the strings and get the pitches too high, they can break. Then you have to replace the string and start over. So the second string from the bottom is called B, and that's what it should sound like. So on your B string, try and get it to sound close to that pitch. Now if I'm going too fast for you and you don't have it close to the pitch, just hit pause on your computer on the YouTube video and maybe back it up a bit to hear the pitch again. Okay, moving on to the third string. It's called G, and that's about what it should sound like right there. Might need to make that just a little higher. Try and get your G string close to the pitch. There. And then the fourth string is the D string. It should sound like this. Try and get your fourth string on there, on pitch. Get it close. Don't worry about getting it exactly. The goal right now is just to get it close enough to where when we're doing the tuner, we're going to be able to zero it in without, and you'll know you're in the range, so you're not way too high and you won't be breaking a string. The fifth string is the low A. Gotta bring that one up a little bit. Anyway, that'll get you close to it. There's what it should sound like. And the low E. Your top string is your lowest string, lowest pitch string. It's kind of backwards. And that's the low E. Okay, so you've clipped on your tuner now, step 2, and you've turned it on. So now we're going to start the other direction. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up, plucking the low E string and raise the pitch up or down until you get an E. So like if I take this out of tune, below it, just like in the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, you would think that a D, it's reading a D now. If I go further down, I get a C sharp, that little number sign is called sharp in music. And anyway, so I want to get it up towards the E. There's a D. E is higher than D. I want to keep going. I'm tuning just D sharp. You see, when the light is yellow, that means it's above the pitch. So it means I'm above the D sharp, and I'm just coming up now. I'm reading an E, but I'm on the red, so I got to bring it up still. I'm below the pitch, which in music we call flat. Below the pitch is a flat. You're flat, and we want to get it right up to the pitch. And I'm just making little tiny movements here. There we go. I've got an E. Almost. When you get down to the fine tuning, you're hardly even moving the tuner head or the tuner peg here. You just hardly need to move it. If you move it too much, you'll be sharp, and then you have to come back down. So that's the E's in tune. Now we're going to repeat the process for the rest. But take a moment and look at this diagonal line here that has the low E. Notice I've circled all the letters that are the strings, the correct tuning for your guitar strings. And they are, looking at the bottom, it goes E, and then the next one that's circled is an A. Moving up the string, up that line, you see a D is circled, and then the next one is G, then a B, and an E. Those are the names of the strings, and you should memorize those and know what they are. And an easy way to memorize them is for E, A, D, G, B, E is the little saying, Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. So E for Eddie, A for ate, D for dynamite, G for good, B for bye, and E for Eddie. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. So if you remember that, that'll help you remember your strings. Okay, so the A string here. You want to tune it. Now if I'm above the pitch, I got to bring it down. You can see I'm not making big motions on the tuner here. I kind of listen with my ear. There, I brought it down. Oh, pretty close. Next one is the D. Now it's in tune here, but I'm gonna make it go flat. So let's say you were listening to the pitches at the start of the video, and you got close, but you're a little flat. So you can use your tuner. If I'm red, that means I'm flat or below the pitch, and so I got to tighten it. So I'm turning it to tightness. I'm turning it counterclockwise. Just real fine motion, fine movements on the tuner. Okay, D. Now the next one is G. Let's say I'm flat. I want to bring it up a little bit. Ooh, I moved too much. I went sharp. So now I got to bring it back down, go the other way. And with trial and error and practice, you'll get good at doing this. And it won't take as long as I'm taking here to show you. Then the B. Go ahead and adjust your B string till you get it in right on the pitch. B string can be a little temperamental. Sometimes it's hard to get it right on. It's probably the toughest string to keep in tune and to work with on a steel string guitar. And then the last one is an E again. Okay. So it's important to have your guitar in tune, because we're going to be eventually on the next video. I'm going to teach you to play some chords. And if your guitar is not in tune, your chords are going to sound sound like this. And that's not pretty. So we want the guitar to be in tune so that our chords all will sound good. There's nothing that drives me crazier than playing a guitar that's out of tune. So I'm going to get back into tune here and show you again what that chord should sound like. That'll be the first chord we'll learn in the next video. Next thing I want to show, so that sounds better, doesn't it? So this is not a video you're going to need to watch very often. Once you learn how to tune your guitar, all you have to do is use your tuner and do it. But this is the place to start. Now the other thing I want to talk about is how to hold the guitar. I'll turn my tuner off so that my battery doesn't wear out. But I'm going to send you some extra batteries here. So if the battery does wear out, go see your headmistress and she'll probably have the supplies for you that you need. Or if you need new strings. So anyway, holding the guitar, a common, well, you see I have a strap on too. I'm going to send you some guitar straps. So you'll have those to put on your guitar and to help stabilize it. And especially when you're standing and playing, you play with a strap. Now, the classical guitar has a different kind of strap, and I don't have one here to show you, but on a later video I will get one here at a store, and I'll show you on my classical guitar how to hook that one up. But on a steel string guitar, the strap goes, there's a peg here, and there should be a peg here, and that's also where you'll plug in when you start playing with the amplifiers. Okay, so holding it, if you're seated, you can hold it the best way, and it's a classical guitar way, is to put it between your legs. So here I've got the guitar and I'm putting it down between my legs like this. The reason this is the best way to hold the guitar is the most stable, because I'm supporting it in it's got 3 support places. 1, this leg, 2, my other leg. 3rd support is my forearm. It goes right over the top, the widest part of this is called the lower bout, B-O-U-T. This is the upper bout, the lower bout. So right on the widest part of the lower bout, I want to put my arm about a little further than halfway up. You don't want to be back like this. You don't want it there. You want it about here. But now that's got the guitar solid so that it's not going to move as I play. Most of the time on acoustic guitars, this is an acoustic, not a classical. You have 1 classical, that's the nylon string one, and 2 acoustics so far. Hopefully we'll get more there. But anyway, a lot of times people will just put the little curve here between the 2 bouts on the bottom on their right leg, and then play it that way. So now this is a comfortable way to play the guitar, but it's not as solid because I only have 2 points supporting the guitar. One my right leg, and the other my forearm still, and so the guitar neck can kind of wiggle a little bit. So my left hand has to not only play, but has to kind of provide some support. So either way, you see guitarists doing it either one of those ways. But that would be the way to hold a guitar. The left hand just comes under like whatever's natural. We'll talk a little more about that in future videos. That's all I have for this first video. You'll get your guitars in tune and then go to the next video, which will cover learning to play the D chord, and we'll play 3 little simple 1-chord songs in that one. Okay. My wife and I had the most wonderful time in Africa, and you are all in our hearts. You're in our prayers every day, and I will now begin praying specifically for my guitar students. So God bless you all.